Hi everybody, Pam Meyer here from Design Works Limited, and today we are in a new setting. We're not in my office. We are at Jensen Company out in Salinas, and I'm in the reclaimed and redeemed area of his shop, where he takes old things like these old windows and old barn pieces and makes something wonderful out of them. So we're going to meet Paul Jensen in a minute, who's the owner of Jensen Company, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about what we're doing today. We're just going to be talking about all the people in my posse, and that's what I call it, my posse, who help me create the wonderful things that we create. And that's what when I talk about custom work, that's what I'm talking about, we're not buying those things off the shelf. We're actually doing custom things that are suited to your taste, your space, and exactly what you want in your home. So here I am with Paul Jensen of Jensen Company.
Hi.
And he's going to tell us a little bit about how our process goes. I'll start with this. This is a house that we did together, and it starts with simple sketches like these, where we lay the property out and then give him some ideas of what the meetings with my clients and I have been. And then what happens?
Well, then I get a call from Pam. She says, I've got another job we need to look at. We'll set up an appointment. I'll come over. She'll show me her sketches that she and her assistants have come up with. And then I'll talk to the client, and kind of helps me get a feel for what the two of them have been talking about. And then I come back to the shop and I'll come up with drawings that I can then present to the client. Oftentimes they're done on the computer, and sometimes I do them by hand, because it's really hard to do fireplaces and stuff on the computer. So it's easier to do it by hand. We come up with a floor plan, and then once we have the client's approval, we start working on finish samples, door styles, all of that type of thing. Mm-hmm. And I put together pricing and give that to Pam, and she presents that to the clients. And once we have final approval, get a deposit, and then we start cutting wood.
One of the things I love about working with Paul is he has all kinds of fun ways to make unusual things. And like in the recent job we did a hidden knife drawer, and we did a coffee bar, mm-hmm. and you did a pull-out spice rack that was full length, so everything could go in it. And
right.
You did 2 recycle bins, so you're very thoughtful about how the client's going to use that kitchen, mm-hmm. and what makes sense in terms of prep and use and all that kind of thing. And then show what we did with the fireplace.
Well, on that same job, there was a mantle that we needed, a very large mantle that was going to go from window to window. Probably can't see it very good on here, but the original concept was to have it just look like a big old barn beam, something that came from an old barn back in Pennsylvania. And of course, those are very difficult to come across and to find just the right size, and also quite expensive. So we make them. We do it as a box. And so my idea was, because the client has their large TV mounted on the wall above the fireplace, my idea was to have the front of the mantle open in such a way that when it's closed, you can't tell that it opens without close inspection. And inside the box beam, we installed his DVD player, his cable box, everything associated with the TV. And I believe they put the remote for the fireplace in there, mm-hmm. and all of their remotes. So when it's closed, you don't see any of that stuff. When it's open, you have access to all of it.
Yeah.
And then they were able to install a infrared remote so that all the equipment works with the front closed. So that's the kind of thing I really love doing, is taking old material or old items, even iron and that kind of thing, and incorporating it into my work. And if I can't find something old that's just right, we've gotten pretty good over the years at doing different finishes and different mm-hmm. techniques to make it look old and reclaimed, mm-hmm. so that it gives that warmth of a piece that's been around and well loved, or even something that was never intended to be well loved. It was just a utility piece, but now brings a lot of warmth into the project.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed our video today, and I hope Paul and I have inspired you to think about your house differently. Maybe there's spaces in your house that don't work very well. And what we were trying to show you today is different ways that you can use things to make a new space, to make a new purpose for different things that you might not have thought were doable at all. And just to show you what creativity can do. So we can do everything from the reclaimed look to mid-century modern, the whole gamut of things. So look at our website and see some of the things we've done. So until next time, I'm Pam Myers at DesignWorks Limited. And remember, if your interiors aren't becoming to you, you should be coming to me.